Hillary could never. Welcome back. The middle of the last century saw this country facing a red scare, mainly propped up from Senator Joseph McCarthy, who was alleging that this country was infiltrated by treasonous communists inside the U.S. government. Oddly enough, he was proven right over the years if you were to look back today. But today, with all the holdovers apparently leaking classified and top secret material, are we facing a McCarthyism in reverse? That's an interesting way to put it.
No better. First of all, Joe McCarthy was an evil man. I mean, it was not only what he said, but how he said it, and how he pointed fingers at people, and how he had people lose their jobs. And, you know, especially in Hollywood, they're cowards. Now, you know, they're way to the left, and they try to get rid of leftists because it was hurting them financially. And I think what you've got now is just the reverse, because now the Democrats, or the people that are associated with the Democratic Party or own businesses run by Democrats, if you don't agree with the Democrat orthodoxy and principles, what they stand for, they'll come after you. You know, anybody this man who worked for Breitbart, they fired him.
Milo.
Yeah.
But you know what's funny about that? Milo Yiannopoulos, who's a gay conservative, made the comment about, you know, men and boys, it might be not a bad thing, but the left is the ones that don't care about the children. They're the ones that are pro-abortion. They're the ones that support the LGBTQBTQBB lifestyle. So it's total hypocrisy to see this.
To use, I think it's a proper term to use, a reverse McCarthy, the same kind of fear and hate and anger playing on the ignorance of many people. Now, because of the media being almost 100%, even Bret Stephens of Wall Street Journal just attacked Trump in the most vile and vicious way. And I had a chance to see him during this writer's period, and I told him that, and he didn't have anything to say in rebuttal. I told him that he was way out of line and way out of place in making the charges against Trump that he did.
Do they feel like they're just losing their power and they're like little kids that are stomping in the playground because they're not getting their way? Is that
yes,
part of
again,
it?
you go back to Joe McCarthy. He was, people began to realize that he was an evil man. He was vicious. He was out there to destroy, not to
But let me ask you a question. Was he not correct about some of his assertions?
Well, some of, like any assertions you can find, you can pick and choose and say it's wrong.
It's almost like when Michelle Bachmann wanted to do congressional investigations into the Muslim Brotherhood infiltrating the U.S. government. You can't tell me that hasn't happened. It has. We already know from the three IT guys.
Michelle was absolutely right. She was a good woman.
The brothers that just got fired by the Trump administration that were involved with our most classified, sensitive material were Islamists.
But I guess the point we're trying to make now is the fact that the viciousness is coming from the left, and they're using the media. And the media, in my many years of being on this earth, in this country, has never been so one-sided on the left as it has been.
But, okay, let's go back a ways. Let's say Cronkite, for example. There were three newscasts, and when they were done, that was it. That's all you had. And then you had the newspaper, which wouldn't come out until the morning. So when he said that's the way it is, that's the way he said it was. So was it even worse back then?
He was respected.
Was it even worse back in those days?
Well, you mean, how do you mean?
Because you didn't have any way of getting any alternative information. You didn't have an internet.
Yeah, but
you didn't have
I know what you're saying.
radio.
No, what you had there was a sense of decency. People who were in the lofty positions, by and large, felt like William L. Shirer when talking about Germany. They wanted to be respected for what they did. Their self-respect and the respect by historians was very important to them. So luckily, here in this country, as I recall, the people that were highly visible were also highly respected at the same time.
And for example, the New York Times, they have always bent to the left, have they not?
Not the way they are today. No way.
Nobody. NBC is as far left as you can get today.
That's right. NBC, they were not. They were more centrist. I'm telling you, they had people on both sides of the fence in a debate. Now,
and you had people like John F. Kennedy, who was a Democrat, who today would be shunned and be attacked just like any other conservative is, because he was basically a conservative by today's standards.
By today's standards is correct. I think what you've got today is you've got the crazy guys who don't believe in Americanism as being fair play, making sure that you give the other guy an even break and so on. And this idea of not going to the inauguration. I mean, an inauguration isn't for the specific person. It's something that's happened since the beginning of the United States.
For Maury and all those wonderful, exceptional folks in the United States Armed Forces, the police, the firefighters, and all those who go to work each and every day to keep us safe, I'm Scott Crowfoot, and God willing, we'll see each other again.